आज मैं चंद्रशेखर आज़ाद जो भारत की फ्रीडम फाइटर थे, चंद्रशेखर आज़ाद जी, उनका एक बेहतरीन मूर्तियाँ मैं बनाने जा रहा हूँ। अगर ये मूर्तियाँ आपको अच्छा लगता है तो मेरा चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, नहीं किए होंगे तो, और बेल आइकन भी दबा दीजिए। और पिछले जितना सारे फ्रीडम फाइटर की हम मूर्ति बनाए, अगर ये सब आपको अच्छा लगता है तो प्लीज़ कमेंट्स ज़रूर कीजिए। धन्यवाद। Chandrasekhar Tiwari, known popularly as Chandrasekhar Azad, he is born in 23rd July 1906 and died on 27 February 1931. He was an Indian revolutionary who reorganized the Hindustan Republican Association (HRA), the leader of HRA, under its new name of Hindustan Socialist Republican Association (HSRA). After the death of its founders Ram Prasad Bismil and three other prominent party leaders Roshan Singh, Rajendra Nath Lahiri and Ashfaqullah Khan. He hailed from Bhabra in Alirajpur state, and his parents were Sitaram Tiwari and Jagrani Devi. He often used the pseudonym Balraj when signing pamphlets issued as the Commander-in-Chief of HSRA. Just I describe about early life and career about Chandrasekhar Azad. Chandrasekhar Azad was born on 23rd July 1906 in Bhabra village as Chandrasekhar Tiwari in the princely state of Alirajpur. His forefathers were from Badarka village of Unnao district. His mother Jagrani Devi was the third wife of Sitaram Tiwari, whose previous wives had died young. After the birth of their first son Sukhdev in Badarka, the family moved to Alirajpur state. His mother wanted her son to be a great Sanskrit scholar and persuaded his father to send him to Kashi Vidyapith, Banaras, to study. In 1921, when the non-cooperation movement was at its height, Chandrasekhar, then 15 years old student, joined. As a result, he was arrested on 20 December. On being presented before the district magistrate, Justice Reverend Thompson Crate, a week later, he gave his name as Azad, the free, his father's name as Swatantrata, independence, and his residence as jail. The angered magistrate ordered him to detain to jail for 23 weeks and ordered be punished with 15 lashes a day. His revolutionary life was after the suspension of non-cooperation movement in 1922 by Mahatma Gandhi. Azad was disappointed. He met a young revolutionary, Manmoth Nath Gupta, who introduced him to Ram Prasad Bismil, who had formed the Hindustan Republican Association (HRA), a revolutionary organization. He then became an active member of HRA and started to collect funds for HRA. Most of funds collections was through robberies of government properties. He was involved in the Kakori train robbery of 1925, the shooting of J.P. Saunders at Lahore in 1928 to avenge the killing of Lala Lajpat Rai, and at last in the attempt to blow up the Viceroy of India's train in 1929. He was most activated in Jhansi. Azad made Jhansi his organization's hub for sometimes. He used the forest of Orcha, situated 15 kilometers from Jhansi, as a site for shooting practice, and being an expert marksman, He trained other members of his groups. He built a hut near to the Hanuman temple on the bank of the Satar river and lived there under the alias of Pandit Harishankar Brahmachari for the long periods. He taught children from the nearby village of Dhimapura and thus managed to establish good rapport with the local residents. While leaving the Jhansi, he also learned to drive a car, the Bundelkhand Motor Garage in Sadar Bazar. Sadashivrao Malkapurakar, Vishwanath Vishwapayan, and Bhagavan Das Mahur came in close contact with him and became an integral part of his revolutionary groups. Then the Congress leader Raghunath Binayak Dhulekar and Sitaram Bhaskar Bhagat were also close to Azad. He also stayed for some things in the house of Rudra Narayan Singh at Naivesti, as well as Bhagat house in Nagra. So one of his main supporter was Bundelkhand Keshri Diwan Shatrugna Singh, the founder of the freedom movement in Bundelkhand. He gave Azad financial as well as assistance with weapons and fighters. Azad visited his for multiple times in Mangrut. The Hindustan Republican Association was formed by Bismil Jogesh Chandra Chatterjee, Sachindranath Sanyal, and Sachindranath Bakshi in 1923. In the aftermath of the Kakori train robbery in 1925, the British suppressed revolutionary activities. Prasad, Ashfaq Khan, Thakur Roshan Singh, and Rajendranath Lahiri were sentenced to death for their participation. Azad, Keshav Chakravarti, and Mural Lal Gupta evaded capture. So Chandrasekhar Azad the latter reorganized the HRA organization once again with the help of revolutionaries like Shiv Burma and Mahavir Singh. Then in 1928, along with Bhagat Singh and other revolutionaries, he secretly reorganized the Hindustan Republic Association (HRA), renaming it as the Hindustan Socialist Republican Association (HSRA) on 8-9 September. So, as to achieve their primary aim of an independent India based on socialist principle, the insight of his revolutionary activities are described by Manmoth Nath Gupta, a fellow member of HSRA, in his numerous writing. Gupta has also written his biography titled Chandrasekhar Azad in his book History of the Indian Revolutionary Movement. Chandrasekhar Azad was dead in the tree at Alfred Park in Allahabad, where Azad is died on 27 February 1931. The CID head of the police at Allahabad, Sir J.R.H. Nodbauer, was tipped off by someone that Azad was at Alfred Park and was having a talk with his companion Shukdev Raj. On receiving it, Bauer called on the Allahabad police to accompany him to the park to arrest him. Azad's old comrade Birbhadra Tiwari and Yashpal were also held responsible for taking off two of the police constables. The police arrived at the park and surrounded it from all four sides. Some constables, along with DSP Thakur Vishweswar Singh, entered the park armed with rifles, and the shootout began. Sukhdev Raj escaped uninjured. Azad hid behind a tree to save himself and began to fire from behind it. The police fired back after a long shootout, holding true to his plea to always remain Azad free and never be captured alive. So he shot himself with his last bullet. In the shootout, Bauer and DSP Singh were injured. in the right palm and jaws, respectively. The police recover Azad's body after the other officers arrive at the site. Then the body was sent to Rasulbad Ghat for cremation without informing the general public. So as it came to light, people surrounded the park where the incident had taken place. They chanted slogan against British rules and praised Azad. Chandra Sekhar Azad Jindabad. This slogan again and again chanted by publics. So from his bravery stories that we know that Chandrasekhar Azad was a great hero of India. So he was Garampanthi against of the Gandhi. His thinking was blood-heated thinking that Swaraj will get by forcing the Britishers not to non-violence. So his thinking is accepted by Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Sukhdev. So many young people already inspired on the word of the Chandrasekhar Azad at that time. Anyway, those Veer Yodha, those freedom fighters in British times was an heroic history in our Indian politics, in our Indian history. We learn about them that we know that we are the children from them. We come now because they gave the Azad to our India. Okay. According to the pictures, I make 100% face as Chandrasekhar Azad. His mustache, his eye level, and the shape of the forehead and cheeks is accurate seen as in the picture. Thank you for watching my video, friends.